All right, welcome back to ABC Television Daily Newspaper Review, coming to you live from Eldoret Town, the city of champions, of course, from Holy House along Olo Street. It's me, Chirchir Gideon, together with my brother Amos Maraga, and we are right here trying to find out what actually transpired, especially in the past few days, including yesterday, where we have daily newspapers here. I have the Daily, he has the Daily Nation, and I have the Standard newspaper. And just before we took a break, we were talking about why Trans Nzoia is pushing for separation with Bungoma over water companies. Now, Mr. Maraga.
Yes.
The Trans Nzoia company, the Trans Nzoia County pays 22 million for water, while Samahani, that is Bungoma, Bungoma County is paying 13 million for water. There's unfairness here. They share the water, but they pay differently. I do not know. Maybe Lusaka also has something to say. That Bungoma and Trans Nzoia are like twins. We are by an account co-joined, especially culturally, which is true. Yeah, which is true. But we want to know why is it that there's no fairness? If they are twins, then they should be paying equally. What do you think about this issue?
What I think, the issue of sharing has been a problem.
Yes.
Even from where we stay.
It's true.
The issue, of course, is sharing. When you have electrical bills, for example, I want to use that example, and you have a common meter.
That's true.
And the residents of that, the tenants of that place, when the bill comes, you share, you distribute amongst yourself equally.
Exactly.
And I want to use an example myself. One time I found myself in such a situation. You realize that I'm just using a bulb. I don't have a radio,
Just a bulb.
I don't have a woofer, I don't have anything.
It's just a bulb.
Somebody else has got a cooker, an electric cooker,
Okay, an iron.
iron box.
I tell you.
And when the bill comes at the end of the month, we are distributing equally. I don't want to mention about what is happening in Bungoma and Trans Nzoia before getting the merits on the ground as to why one county has to pay more than the other.
Exactly.
That is in terms of when the bill comes. But if you see one of the county complaining, that thing needs to be looked into. And I want to request the water board to go into the matter and know the reason as to why one county is tasked to give more than the other. Maybe you might find that the other is using the water more than the other. And I would also advise that in future as we go, nowadays there are mechanisms of separating the routes of water.
Yes.
You can separate the water by putting the meters. You see?
Yeah.
So the water that is going to the county of Trans Nzoia should be separated from the water that is, so that each county should be accountable for themselves.
That is true.
So that they can be able to eliminate that issue arising.
Sure.
Yes.
Now, maybe just before we dive to the Nairobi issue, because I see there's a very weighty story about Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. But before that, I see a number of lawyers proposing that Kenya needs BBI back on the table, not a handshake, to solve the issue.
Okay.
Now they're saying Kenya, considering the nature of our politics right now, they're saying Kenya needs a BBI, not an handshake. Of course, the issue to do with handshake comes after maybe some of the citizens have been heard suggesting that maybe handshake might solve this issue. But remember handshake, the other day we know the repercussions of handshake because we've actually experienced that. And I see that, let me just read a little maybe information here, that we cannot afford another handshake, they say, if we wish for a truly democratic and accountable state. That is the statement. The current divide does not represent our long-term aspirations to be a true and a powerful nation. Now they say handshake, no. Talk about something else. If you want to talk about the BBI, talk about it, but not handshake. What do you think about this?
It's so amazing.
Yes.
To see that Kenyans are talking about BBI. My personal opinion, I want to say that BBI was a very good initiative and one of the kind of the initiatives that could help the Kenyans so much.
Actually.
And you can agree with me, according to the points that were within that BPI,
yes,
they were very good points.
Of course.
But now the problem, the people who are initiating the process, according to my opinion,
Yes.
are the ones which personally I had a problem with. Because
You mean personally?
it's my personal opinion.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Yes, because I remember in 2018 March when the handshake came in, they told us that it has nothing to do with politics, 2022 politics, and we tended to believe that that is how it was.
Yes.
It's on record. A few years later, we come to realize that PPI had something to do with 2022 election. It's evident. That one is on record also.
Yes.
So I want you to notice this, Mr. Gideon.
Yes, please.
PPI genuinely initiated because the proposals which were within the PPI they were very good and genuine. For example, the issue of gender balance, it was within there.
Yeah.
The issue of winner take all was within that.
Also
There.
within there. Yeah.
You see, the issue of official opposition office was within there. You see, those are some of the good things which could solve some of the problems that we have as a nation. But there was an issue of exclusion from the word go.
Yes.
We cannot say that we are uniting a nation when we are excluding from the word go.
Exactly.
So,
It doesn't work.
personal opinion is we need BPI, not handshake.
Yes.
But we need BPI with genuine minds. The people who are giving out proposals which are intended to help the common manage, to help the people,
Yes.
not for them to benefit at the end of the day. Because if you look at BPI, it had a lot of things to do with leadership, and it had a few things to do with the common manage.
Sure.
And you know, in this our Republic of Kenya, we are supposed to talk more about the
common
Mwananchi,
mananchi, that is.
the Wanchiku,
Yes,
on the ground.
That's true.
You see? But if we talk about the leaders, who to be where, who to be what,
Sure. Sure.
then
sure.
it means that we are concentrating on the people
Exactly.
on top there.
Yeah, we've
And
lost
that is
our-
why this government that is there came out with a proposal that we need to begin from the bottom up. That is their model, bottom to up.
Exactly.
And I want to say that if that model is implemented from even the way we do things, it could be helping the nation of Kenya so much.
True.
So I want to say that BPI is a good thing, a good initiative to be back, but not in the handshake way. Why am I saying that? The handshake is a good thing. We can talk. But if we don't have an opposition that is strong as we see now to be checking the government will be doing anything as they want.
Exactly.
There is an allegation in the recent times that 15 billion was stolen. It's an
Yeah.
allegation.
Exactly. Yeah. I see an allegation.
Within 26 minutes.
Yes.
So if we had an opposition during that time, they could have
Oh
noticed
my. Oh my.
and it could be raised.
Yeah.
And perhaps maybe the money could have not lost.
Exactly.
You see?
Yeah.
So that is why I'm saying that we need a strong opposition, no handshake, but BPI is something we need to look into.
All right.
Yes.
Now, what are your thoughts over this? No, talking about BBI, we just focused directly on what was actually featured on the Taifa Leo Swahili newspaper about Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja proposing, or rather suggesting, that considering the dynamics that we have, the only way to calm down Baba, so to say, Honorable Raila Odinga and William Ruto to come in harmony over these push and pull, over this mass action and riots and all that. Sakaja suggests that maybe handshake will solve this problem. Now, Maraga, do you think he's right?
I don't think he's right. Reason being,
Yes.
I want to believe that even Raila Amolo Odinga himself is not ready for the handshake.
Yes.
And he actually has pronounced himself publicly that I don't want the handshake.
Actually, it's been clear from both sides. William Ruto says no handshake, never, whatever come way, I will not agree for handshake. And Raila also says he doesn't, his interest is not in handshake. So what is Sakaja driving at?
So I think that was an opinion of Sakaja that the president should consider talking to Raila Amolo Odinga. And which I believe the president has not denied. Because in the recent times, if you remember, there is a section of MPs who went to see the president in State House. And when they were back, to the Azimio, some of them were whipped. Some of them were thrown out of meetings.
Yes.
Some of them faced the disciplinary. You see, even I remember the General Secretary General of ODM saying that you can take that chairmanship. Of course, he was not among the people who went to State House, but he said you can take that chairmanship if you want. You see?
Yeah.
So I want to believe that what Sakaja is saying should be. I want now to state how I think it should be, how it could be, according to my opinion. What Sakaja could have said is that the president should listen to the views and minds of the opposition. What is this? They should have a table of listening to each other.
Of course.
Raila Amolo Odinga, what do you want us to do?
Say?
What do you have to say? Because at the end of the day, this is our nation.
Exactly.
It's our country.
Sure.
And you cannot overturn Raila Amolo Odinga. He had a number of votes. He has a mass following. He is a leader in this nation, the Republic of Kenya. So, I want to imagine that Sakaja meant the president should listen to what Raila Amolo Odinga is saying and the entire opposition, because they are leaders in the Republic of Kenya. They have a following, and maybe the reason as to why, when I listened to him, the reason as to why he was talking that, he said that the Maandamano thing is going to affect the economy of Kenya.
Most likely. That was his angle.
That was his angle. And I want also to agree with him that the Maandamano thing will affect, because
definitely.
You remember here in Eldoret where we are, when Maandamano is there for a day,
and towards just light issues. Just light issues.
Shops are closed.
Yes.
Everything comes on a standstill.
Exactly.
You can imagine how much the economy loses from that.
Just a day.
Imagine the person of the stature of Raila Amolo Odinga calling for a mass action in Nairobi.
Oh my goodness.
And they march to State House.
It is so terrible.
It will be terrible.
It is so terrible.
So before it reaches there, I also want to be in conjunction with what the governor of Nairobi meant. Let the president call these people on board. Let them discuss.
And have a talk.
What are your opinions? You remain in opposition, and there is a proposal that they should have an official opposition office.
Yes.
You remain in opposition, criticize the government, let us know what you need, you want.
Yes.
We put them on the table, we discuss, and we move on as a nation. You see?
Yes.
So I want to say that Sakaja raised a very good point, which needs to be taken into consideration by our government, because I don't want to imagine us going back to the Maandamano.
True.
As a nation.
So, in other words, Mr. Maraga, Maandamano is a problem on its nature, as well as handshake. So, in other words, we need another kind of delicate balance, which you've simply termed as a discussion.
A discussion.
All right. Let's hope.
Handshake.
Exactly.
Mr. Gideon.
Yes.
Handshake, according to the experience we have.
Of course, we have an experience of handshake so far.
Handshake.
Yes.
Me, I thought that handshake is an agreement you make and then you keep on your record.
Exactly.
But you see, according to the handshake which happened, it's like the handshake happened and those people who were in opposition, they came to the government.
They came to the government.
You see?
Yes.
And so that one caused a problem. Nobody is concerned about what is happening where.
Yeah.
You see?
And that is why we had a lot of illegalities in that particular government.
That's true. No whistleblower.
Exactly.
No whistleblower.
No one to say, hey, what are you doing?
Sure. So I think there's a problem, a difference between handshake and discussion.
And discussion.
Yeah.
And I believe discussion is actually more better, because you will get the views, you compare with yours, and tell them to maintain their position right there as the opposition, where the government. As you move, I think it can actually give a solution.
It can give a solution to our problem.
So we can simply say, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja maybe is in fear that we can end up badly. So we better choose the handshake, maybe considering the problems. But I think they are equally inappropriate. So discussion marks the best. Anyway, thank you so much. We're still discussing right here at the Elgon View College. Actually, ABC TV to be clear. So ABC TV is actually under the Elgon View College. And just to tell you, or rather remind you, Elgon View College is one of the best colleges right here in Kenya, and of course right here in Uasin County. This television is casting to you live, courtesy of Elgon View College. You are welcome to join us every other time that we study and we also prosper together. To continue with our newspaper review on the Standard newspaper, I can see there's this opinion poll of what we just it was featured on the newspapers a few days ago about the counties having similar school uniform. Now there is an opinion over here about this whole issue to do with the counties having similar uniform. Now the question is, should every county have similar school uniform? Now you give your opinion on yes or no. If you say no, then why do you say no? And if you say yes, then do you have a point to actually substantiate your no? I will use my guest here, Maraga, as an example. Now, Mr. Maraga,
Yes.
this county issue, I mean, this uniform issue, they are saying each county to have a similar uniform. Was each county to have a certain kind of uniform, similar uniform? As per county, should every county have a similar uniform? That's for schools. What do you think about this?
What I think is that the issue of uniform,
Yes,
I do not consider it to be an issue.
of course.
Reason being,
Why not? Why not?
the reason being,
Yes, please.
there's freedom.
Of course, exactly.
Board of management of any school,
Yes,
for them to choose a uniform
Yes.
for the learners in their school.
yes.
At the same time, if in the wisdom of the ministry,
Yes, please.
with a reason
Yes.
as to why they need
To change.
to change the uniform for every county. Like now, for instance,
Yes.
Fred Matiang'i, when he was the minister
The Minister for Education.
for education,
Cabinet Secretary, yes.
yes, cabinet secretary for
Education.
they made a decision that all the buses, the school buses, should be painted yellow.
Yellow, yes.
Yellow. And there were reasons as to why
Exactly.
they were to be painted yellow. I want to believe that there is no problem for the county education board to come out with a similar uniform for the county with reasons as to why.
Yes.
You see? Number two, there should be freedom again for any school to choose the uniform of their kind that they want their children to be wearing.
Exactly.
You see? So I will stick to the no. Reason being, we need freedom. We have different tastes and preferences.
Of course.
You see?
Yeah, that's
So as a school, maybe we have a preference of a specific
certain
color.
color, exactly.
Yes. So we should be given our freedom of
Sure.
choosing the color that
That's very true.
we like, not to be chosen a color as a whole county maybe we don't like. Like now, for example, when we had this, I'm sorry to say this, when we had this election thing, some people loved yellow, some
course.
people hated yellow and loved blue. So there is freedom of choice.
That's true. That's freedom of choice.
So my
I agree with
opinion
you.
is
Yes.
we should have freedom because
Exactly.
we have different tastes and preferences
Yes.
of what we need
Okay.
and the color we like.
Maybe to also hit you with another angle, Mr. Maraga.
Yes.
You know, we know. We know the dynamics of a country as far as leadership, as far as anything maybe new is proposed. I am very sure that if this thing maybe passes, there's this question of, all right, now it has passed. What do we do? You hear the government allocated 23 billion to cover for the uniforms for the county. You know, and we actually have really weighty issues to do with the education sector. The JSS is a problem. Teachers are not even enough. We don't have the libraries. Do we really focus on uniform?
I like what you're saying because
Yes.
we are focusing on the wrong thing.
Yes.
The issue of uniform has never been a problem in our schools.
Oh my.
It has never been a problem.
It's never been a problem.
We have been having a problem with what you mentioned.
Yes.
We don't have teachers.
Yes.
We don't have
We
infrastructure.
don't have infrastructure.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what the government should be focusing.
Of course.
And now,
Not the
speaking about
uniform.
the uniform.
Anyway.
I believe that one.
This is actually they must have missed the priority over here.
That's true.
Anyway, it's good for students to look decent. We agree. But is it really the priority? That's the question.
In conjunction with that,
Yes.
there is something here in the nation,
Yes,
nation,
of course.
about schools also. And there is a case where the police are probing death of a pupil who was punished in school.
Yes,
That is the corporal punishment.
I remember.
I wanted to say something about it, about corporal punishment. And
You're talking about the Chemaste boy, yeah?
yes,
Of course, not the
that's
county.
true.
Yes.
I could wish. I remember during our day,
Of course.
during our times.
Yes, please.
Of course, not very long time ago.
All right, just recently maybe.
Yes.
Yes.
But there was this punishment. You see,
The corporal one.
the corporal one. And you know, even the books, the religious books,
Of course, yeah, the Bible.
and all that.
Yes,
The Bible says, the only way to get rid of the ujinga within the heart of a child
kid, yes.
is to use a rod.
That's true.
You see, and you spare the rod, you spoil a
And you
child.
spoil the child.
Now we have as the Republic of Kenya
Yes.
been overprotective to our children to an extent that you cannot punish
A child.
a child. And one thing that I need to be understood, and this is my opinion, your opinion.
Yes.
When you punish a child, you are not punishing the child. You are punishing what the child did.
Exactly. The mistake
The mistake the
that
child
the child actually did.
You are showing some sense in the child. And once the child knows that there is nothing you can do. I was a teacher in high school, and I saw that, and I became a teacher in the era where you don't cane students, you don't punish any
The
student.
corporal punishment was out already.
Was out. So in class, you just talk to students. You sit down with students, you talk to them that this is wrong. The student, you give them assignment, they come tomorrow, hawajafanya. There is nothing you can do. You just sit down and you are supposed to do assignment.
That's terrible.
You see? But now there is this extent of punishing a child to an extent that a child dies.
Also to oh my.
You see? This is where I have a problem with some of the teachers. You need not to bring all your hunger to children.
That's true.
These are like your children.
Exactly.
You see? Can you punish your child to an extent that the child dies? Let us be moderate. And I would like to urge the government and to our parliament to consider this. Let our children be responsible for the mistakes they do
Of course.
in school and even at home.
Yes.
Because as a parent, I will punish my young daughter
Of course.
because of what she has done. Because
Definitely, and you want
next
her to
time-
do the right thing.
she'll do the right thing.
Yes.
And that will be a lesson for her.
Exactly.
So let us not limit it to even schools, but also the teachers. Let them know that
Be considerate
these are
also.
their children, their parent figure.
Exactly.
They should be considerate.
Sure.
And not punished to an extent like what we are seeing here.
Yeah, it's
That's
so
what I
terrible.
wanted to talk about.
So terrible.
Yeah.
Thank you for putting that clear, Mwalimu, or rather, Mr. Maraga.
Yes.
It's true that children, if we just leave them, they go bad, or rather, they are spoiled. Now, if we punish them even exceedingly, we also might hurt them.
Yes.
So what we have to do is to be moderate and be considerate.
That's true.
That is very true.
That's
Now,
true.
maybe to talk a little bit about health, I can see this is now the executive director of Kenyatta Hospital, that I'm opening up Kenyatta National Hospital to one and all. Now, in one-on-one conversation with Dr. Diana Wangari, Dr. Evansos Kamuri, and CEO Kenyatta National Hospital, they are saying that the demystifies the institution of one of East Africa's largest referral hospitals and addresses various matters from handling bad publicity, the cost of healthcare, referral services, training, and partners. Now, this appears to be one of the best referral hospitals actually around East Africa, and they are saying they are going to open, as I'm opening Kenyatta National Hospital to one and all. What does this mean? That he's opening for everybody. He's opening Kenyatta National Hospital for everybody. But maybe to go back a little bit on the cases we've had touching or rather related to this particular hospital. We've had cases where citizens or rather patients are brought in maybe in some critical condition, and because of some delays, it happens that actually citizens or other patients happens to die. I remember the story of a certain kid where it happens that I don't know what actually happened or rather transpired before he was brought to the hospital. He was brought to the hospital with a fork. You remember the fork djembe? The fork djembe on the head of the child. And that child had to die because of maybe some little delays from the hospital. Now they're saying they want to open their doors open for one and all. I mean, they are opening and they are welcoming everybody. But the question is, well, it's okay, good, and thank you. But are you in a position to actually handle the patients to the latter? How is the services over there? Because we've had cases of complaints that our patient maybe died, our patient maybe this situation have worsened because of the delays and all that. So how can we approach this? How do we understand him? saying that he's open for everybody and he's willing to accommodate everybody. Well, maybe sometimes we have cases where healthcare services are not actually rendered well to the needs of the particular patients. What are your thoughts over this?
So, Mr. Gideon,
Amos, yes, please.
health has been an issue in Kenya
Yes.
for the years,
Mhm.
especially in the public sector.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why you find or you realize
Mhm.
that most of the patients, the people with the patients,
Yes.
they prefer those who have good money.
Mm.
They prefer
The private institutions.
private institutions,
That's true.
or even flying away
Exactly. To India, maybe.
to India
Yes.
and all those countries abroad.
Exactly.
The reason being is because they don't trust in the services offered in our public hospitals.
Exactly.
To be
Mhm.
precise.
True.
And I would wish that this one, the
Mhm.
government comes out, the Ministry of Health
Mhm.
comes out with a mechanism.
Mm.
The problem doesn't begin in hospitals.
Mhm.
The problem begins from the government, the ministry,
True.
and the bodies like the KEMSA.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Yeah.
there are scandals that have been before.
Exactly.
And like what the one that you've highlighted of a child, a
Mm.
kid, an
Mm.
innocent kid comes
Yes.
to hospital
Mhm.
helpless
Mm.
with a fork on the head,
Yeah.
and the
Oh, terrible.
kid is left for hours
Yeah, just for hours.
in the emergency room
Until the kid
without being attended to.
Exactly. Mm.
I don't know what governs hospitals,
Mm.
but I want to believe that
Mhm.
the government should come out with a mechanism
Sure.
on how they should be able to handle cases of emergency in
Mhm.
the Republic of Kenya.
That's true.
And I'm made to understand that in some of the public hospitals, before you are attended to, you
Mhm.
need to pay first.
That's it.
You see?
Mhm.
So also the government should come out up with a mechanism.
Mm.
And also I want to urge Kenyans to be part and parcel of NHIF.
Mhm.
It helps so much.
Yes.
And also within the NHIF, I want to request the NHIF
Mhm.
to also be not delay
Mhm.
to the patients when they
Yes.
come.
Mhm.
So the KNH is our hospital in the Republic of Kenya,
Of course it is.
which is very reputable,
Mhm.
with a lot of wings,
Mhm.
with a lot of services
Mhm.
offered to patients in the Republic of Kenya.
That's it.
And that one we want to welcome that, opening it for all,
Mm.
because mostly Alfaro Hospital welcomes those patients who have been referred to those hospitals.
Sure.
But welcoming it for all, be it learners and all that,
Yes.
it's a good move.
Mhm.
But also, the government, the ministry should look into the services and the mechanism
Mhm.
on how every doctor, every hospital worker should be held accountable
Mhm.
over what is happening within hospitals.
Yes.
If you go to these private hospitals, a patient is treated with a lot of caution,
Mhm.
with a lot of care, with a lot of urgency, and with a lot of protective,
Exactly.
being
Just concern, generally.
concern.
Mm.
That is the point.
Exactly.
Reason being, this
Mhm.
is the life of somebody.
Sure.
And if you handle the life of somebody carelessly,
Mm.
then you are going to lose the life.
True.
So, and there is no spare part for life.
Mm.
Therefore, I want to request KNH and
Mm.
other hospitals in the Republic of Kenya
Mhm.
to be considerate,
Mm.
and also to come up with mechanisms on how they
Yes.
can be able to handle some of these cases that we see
Yes.
becoming messy in hospitals.
That is very true.
In conjunction with what you said there,
Yes.
in the Daily Nation,
Mhm.
there was a story
Mm.
about the cancer patients.
Yes, it's also featured here. Mm.
It was saying that
Mhm.
we should embrace equality in the cancer war among women.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there was a demonstration
Mhm.
within Nairobi.
Yes.
The cancer patients are saying that the government should declare cancer as a national disaster.
Mhm.
And Mr. Gideon,
Yes.
I want to let you know,
Mhm.
and I think you are aware that
Mhm.
cancer has been a threat
Of
at
course it
recent
is.
times in
It's
the Republic
been.
of Kenya.
Yeah.
And I want to be very categorical by saying that
Mhm.
as the Republic of Kenya,
Mm.
we need to do a lot of research
Exactly.
on what is happening, because the direction we are taking is not good.
Sure.
And the rate at which cancer is growing is not good. We need a research, and that is where I need to challenge our biomedics
Mm.
to do the research on things to do with cancer,
Mhm.
and on how we can be able as a nation to contain it, to prevent
Exactly.
it. What are the root causes of cancer?
Yes.
We use the people, a group of people
Mhm.
to go training people.
Yes.
Our old mamas, our old papas in the village
Exactly.
on the lifestyle.
Sure.
and how they should be able to conduct themselves,
Yes.
so that we can be able to evade this thing.
Sure.
Because as we speak, a number of people are suffering from breast cancer.
That's true.
They are helpless.
Yes,
The other day I went to our hospital here in the referral hospital, the wing of the cancer wing, and I was mesmerized. People are suffering.
It's terrible.
People are helpless.
Very true.
And you know, these prominent leaders, they have money and they can go abroad.
Of course
But
they
what
can.
about the mama in the village?
That's where the
you see,
problem comes.
they just come to these hospitals, and in conjunction with what you said here, our hospitals also should be well equipped,
That's true.
so that they can be able to sterilize even the chemotherapy,
Sure.
whatever, so that they can also be in a position to handle such a kind of situations that we are facing in the Republic of Kenya.
Exactly.
So I'm in support of these people who are saying that cancer should be taken with a lot of seriousness,
Exactly.
and the government should also come out with a way of reducing the cancer cases in the Republic of Kenya. Even come up with, because I'm meant to understand that cancer noticed at the earliest stages, it can be
Yeah,
treated.
it can be treated.
It can be
It
treated.
can be treated.
Yes, they can come up with workshops where people go there to test regularly, because most of the people who suffer, they don't know whether they have cancer.
That's where the problem is.
That is where the problem is. So the government should come up with mechanisms of putting workshops where people can come, they
And
get
test.
tested,
Yes.
and
They know their status.
Yeah.
The way they did it over the HIV issue.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Even if they can get to the point of testing everybody,
Everybody.
going house to house. You remember the HIV testing was
Yes.
so effective. They were going house to house
Very
to the
true.
point that some people were running away
Yes.
in fear. But if they can actually implement that also with cancer, we can be at least moving to a
Yes.
positive direction.
Yes.
Actually.
I think that is what our opinion. on
Yeah, also
that.
also reflecting on this particular newspaper, the Standard. There's one story about one claiming that he was once affected with esophageal cancer. That's the throat cancer in Lays or whatever. Yeah, that language. Yeah. So this cancer happens to have actually distorted better part of his life, and he's calling for the government, just as Mr. Maraga said, he's calling for the government to offer more strength and consider this issue, and says that this esophageal problem can be actually treated over the surgery, the chemotherapy, the radiotherapy, and these other requirements. But where the problem is really on board is when the government is failing to support the healthcare system to the point of offering all this. So, in a nutshell, cancer is a problem. It's actually a leading killer disease with 48%. You can imagine 48%, almost 50% of all the deaths that are experienced cancer is carrying 48% of the deaths. This is a huge number, and this is an actually international tragedy. It's not just a national disaster. It's a disaster all over the world that we need to really put more effort on focusing on this particular problem, lest we all die of cancer.
That's true.
Yes. Well, also to do with some kidney, it happens just a few days ago. It was World Kidney Day, and people were sharing their stories about maybe how they've experienced some problems through their kidney. Those who had kidney transplants, how successful their transplant were. Those who maybe died as a result of kidney, including our former Ainab Koi, member of parliament. His name was William Chepkut. He also died as a result of kidney failure. So this kidney problem has always been associated with this cancer thing, and I think medics can actually help us with clarifying this. Maybe kidney failure is a cancer for the kidney. Who knows? But because we are not medics, we are not in a position to know that. But I believe we're going to be having maybe some medical champions, or rather medical officials, to clarify this. But most importantly, we need to take care of our kidneys. There's a lot of healthcare tips on what you can do as a particular citizen, or just as a particular civilian, to better your life and maybe avoid this kidney problem. You can just grab your Daily Nation on page 7. That's page 7 on the issue to do with healthcare, and have a read there, and of course know what you can do to better yourself from the bitterness or the problems of the kidney. Well, on other stories, or still on this newspaper, we are now diving down into almost getting to the county news, but I can see a very interesting story there where former MCAs are shortlisted to take up top county jobs. Former MCAs are former MCs, that is former members of parliament, who are once the MCAs, are shortlisted to take up the better tops, or rather top county jobs. In relation to what was happening a few days ago when the positions of the PAS were announced by the government, and considering that many of those who appeared on the list were people who were also previously on various positions among the previous governments. We saw people who were governors, people who were senators, people who were ministers still appearing in interest, or rather with the interest to have these state jobs. Now this problem is also reflected in the counties. As the national, or as the country affected our counties, let's listen from Mr. Maraga here. What do you think, Maraga? Former MCAs shortlisted, appearing, a lot of them appearing for county jobs, former cabinet secretaries and members of parliament and senators and whatever speakers appearing on top jobs on the country. What do you think about this?
Thank you, Mr. Gideon. I want to be I want to take two sides on this. Number one, I'm a man who believes in equality. True. And equal opportunities.
And equality is good.
Yes. I'm a man who believes in that.
Yes.
And I'm a man who believes in qualification. Qualified personnel.
Yes. How qualified is one?
A professional office.
Yes.
I want, first of all, to support in the fact that if a former MCA is shortlisted and is a qualified personnel to hold that office,
yes,
then there is no problem. The Constitution of Kenya allows that.
Yes.
Yes. Even in the position of the CAS,
yes,
that you just mentioned,
yes,
all the people have got equal opportunities.
That's true.
You cannot be victimized, as Mr. Gideon, MCA, Elgon College, former, that you cannot hold an office in the county assembly because you were once
elected. Exactly.
You see? Because you have got the papers,
yes,
you qualify.
Yes.
That is now in the support side. I want to disagree.
Yes, no.
The other side.
I like your style, Mr. Maraga. All right, you disagree now?
I want to disagree.
Yes.
If, and only if,
yes,
these people are appointed to take those top jobs because of an interest.
That's where the problem lies.
That is where the problem lies. If the governor,
yes,
and the county assembly are picking and pinpointing these people to take those big jobs and top jobs because of an interest,
yes,
then I disagree. You see?
Yes.
And that is where I want to request the county senators
sure,
who are the watchdogs of the county.
Exactly, true. That's right.
Because before anything happens in the county, they need to know and ask questions.
Exactly, they need to
and know the intentions of the county government. Because I'm made to understand that most of the counties,
yes,
are picking people because of the interests.
That's where we really
they want to control.
Yes.
The county, and this is not happening in the counties only, actually.
Yes, exactly.
Even in the national government.
Yes.
Even the offices, public offices.
True, that's true.
People are picked into offices because of interest.
Particular interests.
You see? Mr. Maraga, for instance, Ministry for Interior. The people I appoint around my office are people who I can manipulate.
Exactly.
You see? So, I disagree in the point that if the governors are shortlisting people because of a specific interest, then that one should not be condoned in the county.
Exactly.
But I give my weight on fresh minds. We need also to give other people a chance to. We have people suffering. Somebody has been a governor and is being shortlisted as the CAS.
Oh my!
I don't believe in that.
Oh my goodness!
As much as they are qualified, those are people who have been county governors.
Exactly.
They have been county presidents.
Sure.
So let us give other people the point of, because a CAS is a person who takes up roles when the minister is not there. We have the PS who is an accounting officer, but the CAS represents the minister.
That's true.
So this is a person you can pick a fresh mind.
Yes.
To be learning.
To be nurtured.
Exactly. In future to become the cabinet secretary.
That's very true.
You see?
Yes.
So I want to give weight that I believe in fresh mind.
That's it.
We have qualified personnel
Yes.
outside here.
Mhm.
We have young people who doesn't have jobs.
Exactly.
Those people should be considered and be given
That opportunity.
those opportunities.
Yes.
And I want to talk to our government.
Mhm.
We say that we need to create opportunities for our young people.
That's true.
And we are recycling the people who have been in government
Shameful.
for those the offices that are created.
Oh my.
Then it becomes shameful to our government, because when are we are saying, we always say that you, our young people, are leaders of tomorrow.
Of course.
When will this tomorrow come?
When will the tomorrow come? That's the question.
That's my question I
Of
ask
course.
myself.
Exactly.
When will tomorrow come?
That's the question.
We need to be nurtured.
Mhm.
You and me,
Yes.
our parents used to nurture us.
Definitely. They
And
do that.
here we are.
Of course.
You see,
Mhm.
the parents are proud. And for the government to be proud of what they have instilled in us,
Yes.
they need to give us a chance and an opportunity
Mhm.
for us to work.
That's very true, man.
You see,
That's very true.
give young people an
Yes.
opportunity.
Mhm.
They have a lot of capacity.
Yes.
Unless you don't trust in the education system that we have.
Yeah.
But I know and I believe
Mm.
young people given opportunity. I
They
mean,
can do. a
Mr.
lot.
Gideon.
Yes, please.
I have seen class 7 pupils
Mhm.
coming up with a robot.
You can imagine that.
They are very creative. You see?
Yes.
They are very
That's
creative.
the level of innovation we have.
That is the level of
A
innovation that
class
we have.
7.
today.
You can imagine a class 7.
A class 7.
Oh my.
Creating coding,
Mm.
coming up with
With a robot.
coming up with a
Oh
robot.
my goodness.
So these young people, I want to tell the government, in as much as there is experience, and this experience
Yes.
issue, I have a problem with it. You go to a company,
Yes.
they tell you need an experience of 10 years,
Yes.
5 years.
Mhm.
Where do you get the experience?
Of course you
Who is ready to give you a job to gain experience?
That's what the problem is.
Nobody's ready.
Mm.
I want to ask the government that they need to reconsider this
Yes.
and employ these young people,
Of course.
and they can be under probation for 1 year.
That's true.
And in this period of probation,
Mhm.
they will learn and adjust
That's very nice.
to be able to perform the tasks they are required to perform.
Exactly.
And thank
To
you.
the required limit. Thank you very much, Mr. Marag. I believe whoever is listening, whoever is watching, you've heard what is needed to be done. And I believe you also have an opinion. If you have an opinion over these issues, you can also engage with us right on our YouTube channel. You can make sure you've subscribed. That is subscribed actually. You've actually shared the link. Maybe you can also comment, follow, and we celebrate together and we grow together. Maybe if you have an opinion, you can send right there. You can also follow us on Facebook Live. We're also in Twitter, Instagram, as well as TikTok. Now, Mr. Maraga, do you have a news?
Yeah, there is a story here,
Yes, please.
and it's in conjunction with what I wanted to talk about,
Mhm.
the cost of living.
The cost of living
In
is
our
actually a
republic.
problem in our republic currently, especially.
It's actually a problem.
Yes.
In the Daily Nation, they are talking about the hydropower generation,
Yes. Uh-huh.
which has recorded low on drought.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to believe that this one
Mhm.
has been part of the reason as to why we're having the cost of living going high.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I want to take you back.
Mm-hmm.
In Kenya,
Mm-hmm.
we are dependent mostly on hydro-generated power.
True.
We have not transited to geothermal
Exactly.
energy.
Much as we have, it's not been really considered
Yes,
to
not
be
really
a
considered.
priority or
Yeah.
rather a chief producer.
Very true.
Mhm.
So in Kenya, what we rely on for manufacturing and production
Yes.
is
It's hydropower.
hydropower.
Exactly.
And in Kenya, for the years, like now 3, 4, 5 seasons,
Mhm.
we've been having major drought in the Republic of Kenya.
That's true.
We have got missed rains.
Mhm.
And as you know, hydro power to be generated, there must be water.
There must be water,
There must be
definitely.
water.
Yeah.
And this has been a challenge, which has led to the cost of electricity going high,
Exactly.
going up.
Mhm.
And actually, this can even tempt. In South Africa,
Mhm.
there is rationing of power.
Mhm.
Rationing of power means that some regions will have power during the day, some regions will have power during this time or the night.
That's terrible.
And it has been a terrible situation
such a
in the
situation.
South Africa. And we, as the Republic of Kenya, we don't want to be in such a situation.
Exactly.
And we are praying, because this is a natural thing. We
Yes.
are praying for Kenya
Mm.
to be not to reach in that state.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
also,
Mm.
I want to call upon the Republic of Kenya,
Mhm.
the Minister of Water,
Mhm.
the Minister of Energy,
Yes.
to work in conjunction
Mm.
so that they can
Wonderful.
ensure that when we have rains, we can have a way of harvesting water
Mhm.
and keeping it in dams,
Yes.
so that we can reuse the water in case
Mhm.
there is a drought breakout.
Yes.
Okay?
Mhm.
But now to the issue of cost of living in the Republic of Kenya.
Yes.
which has not only been caused by the power.
Of course.
There are so many things. Of course,
Not
drought
related to
has
power,
been
yes.
a major thing,
Mhm.
but also there is what we call something that has been going on globally. You see,
Yeah.
there is a problem globally of climate change.
The global warming and the climate
and
change
all that.
generally.
The climate change has caused the nations to suffer
True.
so much. And that is why you see this regime that is in power
Yes.
has got a problem.
Yes.
They promise that by the time they'll be in office, life will be easier.
Yes, they say it.
But things are not working out the way they
Exactly.
expected.
They're not falling into place.
They're not falling in place.
Oh, my.
And there is something I want to explain to you. There is the issue of subsidy.
Yes.
It has not been featured in today's paper.
Of course it doesn't.
But the issue of subsidy is one of the things which we were doing as a nation, and it was giving us comfort that we are on the right track.
Exactly.
But in reality, we were not.
We were suffering
We were suffering
inwardly.
inwardly. It's like your father
Yes.
giving the children hopes that we are doing well as a family. But behind the scenes, you don't
He's
know
going
what
through a
your
lot
father
of
is
pressure.
going through
That's true.
to put something on the table.
Yes, that's true.
You see? So the day you become old and you go yourself to look for money, that is when you find a shock. Is this the real issue on the ground? Is this what it takes for me
Oh
to
my
eat?
goodness, actually you
You
get
see?
to be shocked.
So this government came in and said, we do not want to pretend.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. This is where we are as a nation. You see?
Yes.
And you know what has been happening, Mr. Gideon?
Yes, please.
I want to give you a scenario, and I use that scenario. Assume you at your home,
Exactly.
you go ask your neighbor to give you some unga,
Sure.
so that you return that unga next week.
Yes. Once you maybe get
Yeah.
worse.
But in your house, you know very well you don't have maize.
Oh my. Oh my.
Number two, you don't have a source
Yes.
of that maize.
Exactly.
You see?
You
So you go ask for maize from one neighbor. You go
promising to give back.
promising to give back.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
You go ask from the second neighbor.
Neighbor B.
You bring and pay the first neighbor, and then you see
Oh my goodness.
that is where Kenya has been.
That's true.
Kenya has been going to China and other countries,
Yes.
bring money, subsidize fuel.
Yes.
And you know fuel is consumed.
Yes.
Subsidized
And it's
fuel.
expensive. Yes.
It's consumed. And now, when it's consumed, Kenya, from the taxes we collect,
Yes.
we are not able to pay
To
all
pay
those
back
tax,
all those
dates.
Yes.
You see, within the period of time we are given.
Exactly.
And you see what we did, we brought that money, we put it in the unga,
In the consumption
in
that
the
is.
consumption. It is not productive anymore.
Exactly. That's where the problem lies.
So I want to agree with the government saying that we want to do away with subsidy
Yes. Especially to the
to
consumption.
the consumption. It is better you borrow money, you put into a business.
Yes.
Because the business will be bringing you
Yes,
something.
that's true.
And you will be paying.
That's true.
So the government of Kenya, I want to believe they are genuine.
Yes.
They are subsidizing the fertilizer.
Yes.
And we pray to God because the issues of rain,
Yeah.
we need to pray to God.
It's just God.
We need to pray
Nobody
to God.
else knows that.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was seeing in the newspaper that
Yes.
the season of rain has been announced by the weatherman from March to around May. And I want to ask the government, as I said earlier,
Yes.
the Ministry of Energy and Water,
Yeah.
they work in conjunction.
Yes.
When the rains are there, they harvest this water. They put the dams.
Exactly.
And this time round, let them be very, very objective. Let them be very serious and take it serious as it is.
Yes.
So that we have enough water in the Republic of Kenya
That's true.
to deal with emergencies when they arise. Like
Yes.
now we have an emergency in the Republic of Kenya.
Exactly, we have.
Cows are dying in the northern
The
parts.
northern region.
Yes, they are dying. And that is a situation we don't need to see in our Republic of Kenya.
That's true.
There are countries which are managing. Israel is managing.
Yeah.
It's a desert.
Yes.
It's
But they're
managing.
managing.
They're managing. So, the issue of cost of living, I want to believe that the government is taking us to the right direction. And I want to believe that there will not be, it will not take longer before they solve this issue for the Republic of Kenya to be better. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, that is a really serious issue, and you can still contribute on the comment section. Now let's go a little bit international to do with this news. I can see from the world, the citizens of Istanbul fear a new quake will bury them alive. Now this comes after the earthquake that just appeared recently it was cutting across. I think Turkey was one of the places that was actually affected, and the Istanbulians, or rather Istanbul residents, are now fearing for a quake that might bury them alive. Now, some buildings have been damaged after failing. After failing an earthquake safety tests. It happens that they conducted some tests about earthquake. There's something called earthquake test over there, and some buildings actually collapsed. Yeah, considering that they were doing a test. So, which means if it happens, in any case, that earthquake comes like the one that just hit Turkey and some regions environs the other day. Istanbulians are saying, "Oh my goodness, we are at a priority of being swallowed by the world." And I think, Mr. Maraga,
Yes.
as Africa, we are way more favored. I don't know, we're just good at complaining, but in reality, we are way more favored.
Africa is favored.
Generally, in my lifetime existing on this planet, much as I've not been there for quite long, but I haven't heard of a real earthquake that have buried people. It's just mere landslide, maybe as a result of excess rains and all that. But we haven't had buildings collapsing, literally just the whole city going down to ashes, or rather to dust, because of earthquakes. I think we are lucky, and we need to be a bit serious with our issues.
That's true.
Yes.
Mr. Gideon, Africa is one of the kind of continent that is very rich
Yes.
and blessed by God. And I want you to notice that even the issue of climate within Africa,
Yes.
the climate is very favorable. The climate is very cool. The climate is very good. It supports a number of things.
Of course.
Supports a number of
agricultural practices,
Yeah,
growth of
production.
maize, coffee, and all that,
Very true.
including livestock. Oh my!
In fact, according to research,
Yes.
Africa feeds 3/4 of the world.
You can see that.
What is produced in Africa, if well managed,
That's where the problem lies.
Yes.
We have good arable land, we have rainfall, we have almost everything. The only thing we lack, actually, to be honest with ourselves, is plan.
planning.
we are very poor as far as planning is
And
concerned.
one man once said,
Yes.
all planners are successful people. All people who don't plan are failures.
Of course.
Because you cannot proceed if you don't plan.
Exactly.
You have money, 1,000 shillings. You
But you
don't plan.
haven't planned for
You
it.
don't have a plan for it.
Exactly.
It's as good as nothing.
Of course.
You see?
Yeah.
So the issue of earthquake, of course, it's an issue. It's a natural issue.
Yes.
Caused by the revolution of the earth.
Exactly.
But I want also to call upon our the people, our I don't know how they are called, the one that are responsible for testing the earthquake.
The earthquake, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, the ones responsible to test this.
Yes, they give out a notice earlier enough, and in this case, accurate one. Of course,
Of course,
the things of nature you cannot accurately
actually
predict.
try their best.
But try their best, like now this one, and let the citizens of those particular areas take it very serious.
Yes.
Let them take it very serious, because I meant to understand in some of the regions, people are given an ultimatum of moving out of those regions because they are considered to be risky,
Exactly.
and they don't.
Sure.
Even now, I want to relate this one to the issue of houses.
Yes.
The story buildings. People are building story buildings with concrete that is not the real one, and the building goes up, and the ministry gives out, the in charge body gives out a warning that this house
It's not safe.
is not safe, and people take it literally. I want to equate it to this. You also need to take it serious.
Exactly.
This is your life. Know that when something happens of the kind, try to do something. So in Istanbul, the residents, they fear, of course, but let them find an option.
Sure.
Yeah, let them find an option, in as much as they keep on trusting in God.
Exactly.
Yes.
And most likely, I want to echo what you said. Kenyans, we're jokers. We're really jokers.
Indeed.
How could you really construct an illegitimate structure and just letting it go up to maybe 6 or even 10-story building? And you know very well that it's not legit. You know, you use some shortcuts in the name of art. It's no problem.
That's a problem.
And this is, oh my, we are playing with people. We're gonna be more serious.
That's true.
We really have to be more serious.
That's true.
And this points back to the question to do with education. We and connections. You know, connection actually has happened to be a cancer. You just choose someone because you know them. You know, they are your relatives, they are your friends, and maybe kind of things. And we put them on very serious and very delicate positions that can actually render us to do a lot of things. In Angola, Angola deploys troops to DRC after failed trace. Now, this is the common issue to do with the M23 that we know. And maybe just to look at it from a clear, or rather a closer focus, is that 300,000 people were displaced from their homes in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo last month, according to the United Nations. Just last month, 300,000 people. You can imagine 300,000 people being displaced. And this is Africa. This is M23. M23 is just I think it started as a banditry kind of thing, and then it started getting support from former military officials, and maybe also getting funds from the oppositional kind of thing. I don't know the actual story, but I don't want to talk about it majorly. But generally what we know is that M23 has been one of the most terrifying banditry group, so to say, in Africa, particularly in this region of the Congo, or rather the Democratic Republic of Congo. And just to relate with our country, Mr. Maraga, I was just discussing this the other day with another friend of mine called Mr. Akedi Kevin, and we were in fear, having realized that our bandits down there at the Kerio Valley are killing people each day. And they are not afraid, even with the presence of the military, and they were now advanced to the point of using the guerrilla warfare, using, the attack at two different spots at a particular time. Now, I had a feeling that the M23 started in no other different way. Once upon a time, I am sure that the M23 was just like our bandits down here. Which means we really have to be serious. Because considering what's happening right now in Congo, there's no peace. When there's no peace, there's no education. When there's no peace, there's no health care. Just when there's no peace, nothing will be happening in that particular state. Everybody's just hiding, and that's why we have 300 people being displaced. This is a problem. And the international bodies actually have to focus more energy to do with how they can solve this problem. That's why Angola is trying to deploy deploy troops to actually try solve this problem. Kenya the other day sent, I think it was 800 or 900 soldiers to help the DRC government to curb this problem of the M23 rebels. I don't know if Moremo you have something
I can say something
yes, please.
About the situation in Angola.
Yes,
and
actually DRC, yeah?
In DRC,
yes.
I mean, and not only DRC, we've seen this one
exactly.
in Somalia, and in other parts of Nigeria, and I don't want to include Kenya.
Of course, I just don't include it.
Let me hold it because we are.
Let's not believe. Yes. Let's not believe in that.
So, what I could want to say, and this is my personal opinion, the African leaders, it is now high time for them to put the interests of the people at heart.
Sure.
Simply because with some of these, I want to call them terror groups.
Exactly, they are terror groups, you're right. They are terror groups.
Some of these terror groups, they have got a mass support from the governments of the day, from the previous leaders, former leaders, former military leadership.
That's where the problem comes.
Who wants to subvert a government? Who wants to come in and be heard from a criminal point? You see?
Yes.
So I could wish that Africa, it is a time for us to come together as leaders.
Yes.
And say that we are a family as the Africa, and as leaders we need to have good interests. We put away selfish intentions, selfish ambitions, and we work for the people of the republic that we are chosen to work for.
Exactly.
The issue of Angola deploying troops to DRC, in African Union, we have a union as Africa.
Yes.
I want to support it because Africa agreed that when we have something that is becoming headache to our nation, the nations of Africa should come together and support. Kenya did, Angola is doing.
Yes.
Some of the countries in the
Also-
Eastern Central
also
Africa
doing it.
are trying to see whether they will deploy their troops to. You see what happened in Somalia.
Yes.
And
yes.
Somalia is
Yes.
doing very well. The AMISOM that were deployed in
Sure.
Somalia and other countries, they did the same.
Sure.
I remember others refused.
Mhm.
But you see, Somalia now has got a president who has been elected, and they are trying their level best. So I want to say that even the M23, by the coordination of the African countries and the Congolese military, they will be able to deal with this terror group decisively and do away with it for the peace of the people of DRC.
Sure.
DRC Congo. We don't want to see a situation whereby DRC Congo, you see now 300 people, 1,000
Big
people are
displaced.
displaced. That is an unfortunate situation
Yes.
which should not be happening in an African country
Sure.
in this generation,
era, yes.
the 21st century, 22nd
Actually, yeah, 22nd century.
century that we are living in. So mine is to congratulate Angola, Kenya, and those countries that are deployed
for participating in trying to
for
bring solutions.
participating in ensuring that we have peace in Africa.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is very true. Still in international issues, I see Somalia. They are also being really hit hard by this drought. And I think this drought thing is really getting terrible. Let's just pray to God that at least a solution, you know, if we get rains, then a lot of things might have actually get a natural solution. But the problem is that when rain also comes, they comes in huge numbers. We get flooded, we also cry the government again. But anyway, let's hope. We better cry for the government to help us during floods than during the drought. It's more terrible to deal with a drought kind of thing. Now, that is majorly what has been captured today in both the newspapers. And maybe a little bit to do with sports, because I know we won't leave you without anything to do with sports, much as we're going to be having another panel to come right here with you and have a better discussion to do with sports. I'm going to just give you the yesterday's EPL results, where Fulham and Arsenal came out 0-3. I don't know if that's how we used to say it, but they came out 0-3. That's Arsenal having 3 goals against Fulham. We had Manchester United versus Southampton, where they came out 0-0. That's Manchester United got nothing. Southampton also got nothing. Oh my. It's a bit shameful for Manchester United to come nil after being smashed 7 the other day by Liverpool. Anyway, I know Molimo here is Manchester United fan, so anyway, it's better to be nil than to actually being. Oh, that was terrible. I don't want to talk about it. Now, another stories we have West Ham and Aston Villa. They came out with a draw of 1-1. Now, this and many more to come. A panel will come, or rather a group of journalists to deal with sports will be right here with you, and will give you the exact details, how it happened, who got red card and all that. That is their segment. I don't know if you have something maybe
I want to
on
comment,
your
to
page.
say something about
Manchester United?
what happened yesterday.
Of course.
And after freedom of speaking, of course, I am a Manchester United fan,
Oh my, yeah.
and I'm proud of that.
Sure.
And we are doing well.
Of course.
We are doing well.
Maybe, I don't know much, but maybe
But
that's true,
I
yes.
want also to say that there is a surprise. I'm surprised.
Mhm.
This team called a small team called Arsenal is becoming very serious. I didn't imagine that Arsenal could come this
Arsenal
serious.
fans, where are you? Now this small team called Arsenal, that's your words.
A small team called Arsenal.
Alright.
Of course, we lost against Arsenal 3-2.
Yeah, okay.
But
Yes.
it's a small team,
Alright.
considering the history and all the rest.
Alright, anyway.
But I want to also say that
Yes.
as Manchester United, the yesterday draw I counted as a gain, simply because we messed up at around 36 minutes, and Casemiro was given
A red card. Of course.
So we decided to play a defensive game. You know Southampton?
Yes.
Yes, you know Southampton.
Of course, we know them.
It is the one which knocked out Chelsea
Of course.
from the FA Cup. So it is not a joke.
It's not a joke, by
So
the way.
the draw I count it as a gain.
Yes.
Although we expected more,
Mhm.
we wanted to be
A bit somewhere.
a bit somewhere.
Along the chart.
Yes, but I want to say that as Manchester United, we are still contesting. We have 12 games to go. So there is one at hand against Brighton,
Yes.
and I believe that is a win. And let us support Manchester United.
All right.
This time.
Okay.
It should be Manchester United, but at the same time,
Yes.
I want to say that I'm wishing Arsenal the best.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they are leading. Let them keep leading. Arsenal, we believe in you. Manchester United, we also believe in you. I don't know about the rest, but we hope all is going well. Now, thank you for being with us. That has been a newspaper review brought to you live from the ABC television. I'm your favorite presenter, Chiru Gideon, together with our friend. Let him just say his name.
Thank you so much. As I said earlier,
Yes.
my name is Maraga Amos.
Yes.
And I'm so happy
Of
and
course.
thankful for giving us, for watching us.
Yeah.
And we believe that we have had a very good conversation.
Of course.
And we have tackled a number of issues in the country and abroad,
Of
and
course.
outside our nation, our
That's
Republic
true.
of Kenya.
Exactly.
So as you continue watching, I want you to go down there, subscribe to this channel, and also above all, let us support the government of the day. And as I requested earlier, let us not involve ourselves in things which will destroy our economy as the Republic of Kenya.
Yeah.
Let us always put the economy of the Republic of Kenya first before our personal interests.
Of course.
Thank you so much, and thank you for hosting me here.
You're welcome again.
I'm so much humbled.
Sure.
Anytime I've been invited, I'll be willing to come.
Thank you very
I'll be
much.
free to come so that we can talk more.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Next time I'm gonna be having an opposition for you.
Please do.
I can just observe.
Yes.
You're really to the government.
I'm really.
I'm gonna be looking for someone from the Azimio. I want you people to fight like Manchester United and Liverpool right here on the stage.
Please bring somebody here
Oh my.
so that we can tackle issues.
That's true.
And facts they defend.
Exactly.
I rise them.
That's true.
Yes, as
Yeah.
we continue.
We're gonna be engaging you, our view, also from wherever you're watching us from, and you're gonna be sending your email. Sorry, not the email. That's the comment on the YouTube channel, also on Facebook, and also on other social media platforms, including TikTok and also Instagram. We're gonna be right there. So make sure you're with us, and thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Continue preaching the gospel. We're right here, bringing you the latest news updates, and the most importantly, the daily newspaper. That was your daily newspaper review. And till next time, may God keep you safe. Remember always that every other successful human being on earth is just like you. There's no difference. Just believe in yourself, believe in God, and work hard. Till next time, bye bye for now.